All right, welcome back to the vlog, guys. We're here at BCC Unlimited in Santa Fe Springs, California. You guys might recognize this building because this is where the Bad Apple was actually body worked and painted. But Doug has been a great partner of ours, and he saw the Freak and was like, man, I want to paint that thing. So we brought it up here to Santa Fe Springs to his shop and just dropped it off. But now it's time for me to get out of these guys' hair so they can start sanding on this thing and making it look awesome. You guys can expect some updates over the course of the next couple weeks. I'll be visiting here probably once a week to see how things are going. And I'm gonna bring you guys all the content, so stay tuned. Arrived here at BCC, see how things are looking and see if we can get an update on the car. Wow, oh, this is unreal. Looks like a brand new car underneath. All seam sealed again. I did all the seam sealing at our shop, but they went back and did more. Looks like it was meant to be. All that tunnel work paid off. Eastwood Products stepped up big time and sent off all the paint and supplies that we need for this car. We got our 3M panel bond for the roof. We got all of our activators, seam sealers, spray gun for the Raptor liner, caulking gun for the seam sealer, big cans of, this is our urethane primer gray for the base coat, bunch of Bondo body supplies, as well as our paint. Got all of our paint and clear and activators and stuff like that. So huge shout out to Eastwood. Thank you guys so much for sending out these supplies. It's gonna make this job that much easier for everybody. Oh yeah, look at this. We even have an Eastwood catalog in here. Hey, very nice. I like to say just a couple things before I take off because I've seen pretty much everything I can see for the day, but these guys have absolutely been killing it. So a week and a half this car's been here, and you guys know what it looked like before it got here. They've got a lot done, and they're fixing to actually get the interior sprayed today or tomorrow. And they've already started sanding the interior. This thing's really gonna get taped off. They're gonna shoot the interior. Once the interior is painted, they'll tape off the interior and they'll go into the booth and get the engine bay and the exterior painted, and the roof will then go on. I've been staring at this car for a long time in the red format that it was with the primer on it and all the carbon stuff on and off as we've been building it. And I am very excited to see this thing in one color and all shined up. I'm excited about the bottom, all Raptor lined and looking brand new. All that work we did underneath looks like a factory tunnel now, which is crazy. I guess in my head I always knew this is how it was gonna be, but it's just always cool to see it come to fruition. And I wanna say, huge shout out to BCC Unlimited, all the hard work these guys are doing on this thing. These guys are craftsmen, they're great at it. So if you guys are in the Los Angeles or San Diego area, I highly recommend checking out BCC Unlimited. And now it's time for me to get out of their hair so they can finish doing what they're doing. And I'm gonna head back down to San Diego. Today's the day. I'm gonna grab Ricky because we are running up to BCC Unlimited today to go pick up the Freak. It's about time we get that thing and get it back here. And I can't wait to show you guys the color we chose. All right, well, today's the big day. It's been just a few weeks since we dropped off our EK rear-wheel drive, the Freak, here at BCC Unlimited. And they're done with it, and it looks insane. So as you guys can see, we went with a Hot Rod Matte Black from Eastwood Products, and we went with Eastwood Products Matte Clear on all of the carbon stuff. So it has sort of a really cool, I don't know how you want to call it, like almost a 3D effect on the car. The carbon looks sick. And one of the things I love about this car is the carbon fiber roof. This is something you don't see every day on a Honda Civic. I hope people appreciate the fact that we spent the money on an actual carbon fiber roof for this car. As you can see, this is not an overlay, this is an actual roof replacement, which shaves quite a bit of weight off of this car. The doors, also shaving weight off the car, they weigh nothing. We've got our quick release hinges on there, which I forgot about, so these doors can just come right off whenever we want. We've got our two-tone wing, so this is a Seeker style wing with the carbon fiber blade, one of my favorite looks for the car. And to round out the back, we've got the carbon fiber hatch with our factory Type R glass mounted in it. Everything about this turned out exactly how I wanted it, and I can't wait to start assembling this with Ricky and Quinn back at the shop. We have basically everything we need to finish this car just sitting there, so now it's time to go back and put in work. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing strapped down and head back to the shop and get it up on the lift. All right, well, we're pulling back into the shop. Got the car in tow. Let's see what these are doing. Gonna go ahead and get this thing unloaded, put her back in the shop. Nice.
Wow, this was a long trip.
I know, this is our whole work day. By the way, that's a nice shirt you got, Doug.
Hey, we put this in.
I like it. Since we did so much extensive fab work to the chassis, we wanted to make sure that we treated the bottom as well as we treated the top. So the guys at BCC Unlimited actually prepped the whole bottom of the car, put a rubberized coating underneath the whole undercarriage of this car. We don't have to worry about a lot of road noise now because it's going to knock down a lot of that. And also, we're not going to have to worry about any corrosion or rust because it's all sealed now. They went through and seam sealed everything. I seam sealed everything to begin with. They went back and re-seam sealed and used panel bond in a lot of areas to seal it up. As you guys know, Ricky and I built out the fuel cell carriage and the rear end carriage and all that. So you guys know this was all metal materials that we added to the car, but now it looks like it was actually part of the car once all of this undercoating went on, which is really nice. Our tunnel is all sealed up really nice and solid. And then we got a full, nice, clean coat all the way up through here. We still have some residual body shop sanding dust, but we'll go through and clean all that before we start adding parts to the car. But overall, really happy with the way the undercarriage turned out, and I'm looking forward to actually showing you guys the top side of the car because that's where we kind of pulled out all the stops. So as you guys can see, we went with a hot rod style satin black paint. We sourced all these materials from Eastwood Products. If you're refinishing a car, Eastwood Supplies has it. They came in clutch on this one, so everything on the exterior and underneath this car is basically supplied by them. We went with their hot rod satin black, and what we did was we actually just applied a matte clear to all the carbon products on this car. We've got the hatch, the hood, the doors all from Sabon, and then the roof is from a different vendor. And we've got some carbon pops all over the car, like the Seeker style wing right here. Has a little carbon fiber blade on it. We've also got some other bits like our front lip that we sourced from Art of Attack, which I love. That's one of my favorite pieces of the car. And we also have this hood scoop that we'll be adding to our hood once the car is done. We need to get our intercooler in place before we mount this. And if you're looking closely, you're noticing that we obviously have our thin Type R side moldings on the car. We don't have them on the door yet, but we do have them here. They're right here. The body shop didn't want to apply these because they didn't want to drill into the doors. So I told them I will do that myself. Probably just apply those with a 3M two-sided tape because I don't really want to drill into these doors either. So we've got a lot of work to do to put this car back together, but now all of the body shop stuff is done. We can actually focus on now all the details and the fun work. One other thing that, we may have briefly spoke about this earlier, but we've got a carbon fiber roof on here. This is something that isn't very common on Honda Civics. I think it's a really cool piece. It really ties all the carbon together. The hood, the roof, down the trunk, over the wing, like it just has a really nice cohesive feel with the nice carbon fiber. And I think the matte finish just gives it that really classy styling. You take a look inside, our trusty hockey stick. And so as you can see, we chose kind of a really nice mellow gray color for the interior. A lot of times you may want to paint these black, but black's really hot. Or you might want to paint it white for a really clean look. The problem with white is it gets really dirty. So most of the time when building a race car or a track car, you'll pick some sort of gray. It's usually pretty easy to match if you need to do touch-ups on the roll cage and stuff like that. And it just has a nice cool look. I think against the black, it's just a really good choice. as you can see, we've got everything removed off this car, so I'm so excited to start putting it back together. Everything's just gonna fall together, which is really cool because it's all been on the car already. And around front, one other thing I haven't shown you guys is we did a ton of metal work in this engine bay, and as you can see, it turned out pretty tidy. We did some shaving. We got rid of a lot of the stuff that wasn't necessary, but the idea wasn't to actually have a show car engine bay. We're not building a show car here. We're building a car we're gonna use at the track. But while you're in here, you might as well clean it up. So that's what we did. And you guys probably remember we added the wheel tubs, little mini tubs in the front, so we can acquire a little more steering angle in case we want to do some spirited track activities. We've got a little extra clearance in there. And then just the rest of it is just basic cleanup. We did add the strut tower extensions, which turned out really nice. That allows a little more upper control arm room to move. On these cars, a lot of times, if you don't do that, you actually crack through the top of the strut towers. So it's a really common mod on these cars, and we'll leave a link in the description down below for where you guys can get those if you're interested. It also adds a really nice look underneath the hood, I think. So again, I'm excited to get the engine and drivetrain and everything back in this and start filling out this engine bay because we got a lot of tricks up our sleeves still. And last but not least, in the front, we actually chopped our core support. If you guys remember, we actually cut it here and here, and that's so that we can get the engine in and out real easy. You pop the bumper off, undo 4 bolts, and the whole center section comes out of the car, so the engine can just kind of slide in and out this way, which I thought was pretty smart. I know a lot of older cars used to have sort of a bolt-in style core support, and we made our own. So hopefully it'll help. You know, as we put the car back together, we can pop it apart and slide the motor in real easy. So that's a wrap. I hope you guys like it, and this is just a kickoff to Quinn, Ricky, and I really jumping on this thing and putting it back together and getting it ready to actually roll under its own power. We still have a little bit of engine work to do, a lot of figuring out on wiring and stuff like that, but everything's here. So now this project is rolling now that it's back from paint, which is awesome. So I want to give a huge thank you to BCC Unlimited. Doug and the boys over there really knocked it out of the park on this one. They understood my vision, made it become reality. And another huge shout out to Eastwood Products. All of the items that we used to make this look the way that it does and get it there. So Bondos, paints, all the supplies, you name it, they have it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for tuning in and watching. The next content on this car is going to be epic, so make sure you don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button, leave us a thumbs up. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys in the next one.